Hey guys, so today I've decided to wear my black hoodie in honor of the show we'll be talking about. We will be talking about Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is a show created by Sam Estley and currently airs on USA Network. Now I know what you're thinking because I think the same thing. When is the last time USA Network has put out anything that I really want to watch? However, I am happy to say the monk days are over and we now have an extremely dark and intriguing story provided to us by USA Network. This show has just ended its first season about a week ago and they've already been renewed for a second season. In fact, they've been renewed for a second season after only the pilot aired. A lot of people have visions of Edward Norton's character in Fight Club when watching this because it is similar to that. And when I like to tell people who play video games as well, I say it's a mix between Watch Dogs and Fight Club. Very similar to Fight Club at the time, this shows a deep and dark commentary on our current ways in society. This is a psychological drama and thriller with hacking. And I know that scares a lot of people off. It did me at first too. When I think of hacking, I think about how in Independence Day the world was saved by a power book. Or think about how writers use it as a crutch, as some kind of superpower that can fix everything just by hacking. Ever since technology has had a boom, writers have kind of used this as a crutch. Well, I'm happy to say that in this show, they do not do that at all. In fact, it's just kind of a side category in that it's used to help layer the situations and continue the story. The show centers around Elliot Anderson, who's played by Rami Malek, who most of you know from Night at the Museum as the Pharaoh, or if you watch The Pacific, he was a major character in that show as well. It centers around him with a few consistent supporting cast members. We see that during the day he works for a cyber company for major corporations that he despises, and then at night that he's basically an online vigilante. Being a vigilante eventually leads him to meeting a character called Mr. Robot, played by Christian Slater. Sidetrack here, for the first time I was wondering, wow, Christian Slater actually got a show that's a hit. I mean, how many shows have we seen this guy on promoted and never seen again? I think he's had about 12 episodes that's aired and never gone anywhere. Besides that, Christian Slater does a great job. He's one of those actors who doesn't really do small acting very well, but here he's able to kind of tone down his attitude. So Mr. Robot, this underground hacker, wants to recruit Elliot to use him against evil corporations throughout the world. He wants to eliminate debt. He feels that Elliot has the sources and the tools to accomplish this. And then on the other side, we have Elliot being spoken to by a higher up in the corporation telling him that he wants to take Elliot to the top with him and that they could rule the world together. So it's kind of interesting to see him placed between two different worlds. You have the underground world who wants to get rid of debt and society and change it from the whole. And then you have this corporation that wants to keep the society's power and keep its greed. So Elliot's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place in that situation. Throughout season 1, this is basically the dilemma that keeps the story going. This is the overall arc. We see Elliot struggle to find out which side he wants to be on and what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do to make the right thing happen. There are also several B stories in season 1 that I found really engaging and interesting to see. The nice thing about the B stories is that they eventually do end up adding up to something and they're not just there to kill time. They have a meaning in the overall arc. There are several shows that use voiceover narration quite well and really helps the story. But on the other side of that, there are many more shows that use it incorrectly. Shows often count on this to kind of express the emotion of the characters when they don't know any other way. However, the voiceover narration in this show is used very intelligently. Basically, that's how we see the world. We see it through Elliot's eyes, and we see what he feels about things, and we develop our own assumptions by hearing what his inner thoughts are. Throughout the season, we learn that Elliot might not be the most reliable source of information. This causes the audience to feel great tension and anxiety in such good ways. It helps really build the overall tension of the story, and it helps you learn more about the character. Just as we thought he was some vigilante hero, here he is doing things and having thoughts where he might not actually be the good person in this story. Elliot has many psychological issues, and we start to see these develop and unfold throughout the season. He jumps seamlessly through heroism, paranoia, and even psychosis. There is so much content in this season. Halfway through season 1, I had to double check to make sure this wasn't the season finale because so much had already gone and happened that I thought, how could there be more story already? I feel that what really helps you invest in this story and makes it even scary is that this is stuff that could actually happen in today. This show does a great job of causing paranoia and commenting about our society without coming off as lecturing. By the end of season 1, the audience had many of their questions answered. However, we were left with a cliffhanger that gave us even more questions than we had in the first place. This show has left me wanting more and has become one of my favorite shows of this year. I highly recommend that you check it out on USA Network. It's on demand right now and you can check it out through USA Network's website as well. Watch at least 3 episodes and try not to get hooked. Alright guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed our time. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. And remember, the first rule about our society, we do not talk.